All right, gang. So we are gonna take a little walk in the woods today. Supposedly, we've got another snowstorm coming, but I haven't been in the woods like near my house in a while. So I just wanted to see, because the snow has been melting. I don't know if you can see in the background or not. There's some ground by trees. So, yeah, I just thought I'd take a little walk, see what we could see. Oh, there we go. Crunchy crunch. I was doing pretty good with the pack. Oh, yeah. There's some deep snow. I don't know if this is going to be a thing or not. Probably should have brought some snowshoes. Wow. I don't think I'm going to walk that way. Too much snow. Oh, man. My plan might be foiled. Son of a gun. I'm gonna go up on this little hillside over here. See if that. Well, every other step. I'm just thinking. I thought with the warm air and then freezing at night that the snow was going to be a little more, one, melted, and then two, frozen. Yeah, I can see where I want to go. But the snow is a lot deeper in these woods than I was anticipating. So, oh my God, I'm completely out of breath, guys. Kind of what I was hoping to do was find a place. Find a place that maybe I could come up with an option to possibly make a bushcraft shelter. But I think there's too much snow. I don't even know if I had snowshoes on. It's just wetter and heavier than I was anticipating, and softer. And I thought it would be a lot more melted down too. We've had, we didn't have that big snowstorm, but we also had a rainstorm. We had some thawing previously. So I was really anticipating, like what I got here. I'm kind of on some, regular ground. But as soon as I get in the thicker stuff, the snow gets really deep. So that's not going to work. Part of what I want to do today while we were out was share another Bigfoot story from very close to this area. And I still might do that if we can find a spot where we can maybe get off the road a little bit, find a stump to sit down on. We might still be able to make this happen, but I'm gonna have to change locations. So I'm gonna take the camera down for a second, and I'm gonna go get out on the road and then get further down on a non-maintained road. And I know there's another road off that maybe the snowmobiles have been on, and they've been further in the swamp. So we'll go check that out. I'll bring you guys back after a bit. All right. And right now on this ridge, which doesn't surprise me, I'm walking on a deer trail. And I'm thinking because of this deer trail, that's why I probably saw the wolf tracks back there. This looks like a pretty nice little spot right here. Yeah, let's take a look-see here. Oh, there's coyote poop. It's a nice opening up on this ridge. It's really steep, almost all the way around. Oh wow, it really drops off over here. Massive, massive drop off. Lots of deer scat. Look at that game trail right there. This is one heck of a game trail. Lots of deer scat on this trail. There's a partridge. More deer scat. Oh, I don't know how far down I want to go, guys. Because the problem is, the further down I go, the bigger walk we got to get out of here, hey? Because if we go all the way down, then we got to go all the way back up. Oh, yeah. Kind of like that spot up on top of the hill, but I didn't really have any place to catch a pad. I don't have a chair with me. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before. I wrecked my other backpacking chair. Oh, it's one heck of a game trail though. Further down we go, now we're starting getting into some snow. Yeah, this is as far as I want to go, because then it looks like we're going to start really getting into some snow down here. So this isn't the best spot. Although I do have a stump right here. A piece of firewood or cut log. I could use that for a pad. Maybe we could sit down and have a little fire right here. Tell a story. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything that I would consider to be Bigfoot activity. But it's fun to get out in the woods and just take an adventure. Now it's a matter of where do I want to catch a pad, make a little fire. I'll bring you guys back after a while. I gotta figure this out. Peace. Well, this might be more difficult than I was anticipating. So I'm going to scrape. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to scrape some ferro rod on top of that birch bark that I peeled up. Things are a little bit damp, so maybe we can get this going. If not, we'll have to bring out the tinder wick and go that route to get this thing going. Every once in a while, I'll take a little bit of a spark, but it just does not want to give her go. Give her one more try here. And this is this is a tiny ferro rod, so I'm not getting a massive spark, but you'd think I'd be getting enough. Again, we'll try one more time, scraping some of that ferro rod in there. Maybe get enough of it in there, a spark will grab it. Yeah, the spark grabbed it a little bit, but just not enough. So we're gonna grab our tinder wick here, and the key is same thing as anything else. You got to kind of scrape it a little bit, get some fine fabrics on there. And then once you have that fine fabrics on there, gosh, I wish there was a place I could put this so I could kind of show you what I'm talking about. Right there. And then holy cow, guys. I'm having quite the go of it here. Okay, try again. There. That took a little bit of work. Yeah, this birch bark is a little bit damp even. Now the thing of it is, I also always have a lighter on them in the pack as well. it's important to have some redundancy in what you're doing. So just in case one method don't work, you got another method to turn to. All right, gang. So I'm gonna read another Bigfoot story from this area, actually really close to this area. It was from 2008 is when the sighting happened. Also in April, so we're middle of March right now, not that far from that time of year. So location details. These prints were observed on the road leading to Bass Lake in Gwin, Michigan. So, observed April 2nd, 2008. I was attempting to get back to my home in the woods. We had a very heavy wet snowfall, blizzard-like conditions the night before, which prevented me from driving home that night. The following morning was very sunny and just above freezing. As I attempted to drive down my 2-track road, my 4-wheel drive SUV became stuck in the wet, deep snow. The snow came nearly to my knees, making walking difficult. As I turned up my road, I noticed footprints leading down the road, at which time I attempted to follow the tracks. Needless to say, I was amazed at how large these prints were and the distance between each print. The prints were approximately 15 inches long and 8 inches wide, with a stride of approximately 4 feet. So that's a really big footprint, which is kind of strange to think about because there was just a snowfall the night before. So let's see here. These prints were pristine in nature and straight, covering about 100 to 150 feet. Being a very skeptical person about a Bigfoot, I found absolutely I have absolutely no idea what else to think. I am now rethinking my doubts. That's very, very interesting. So yeah, she gets stuck from being able to get home. So she might have been at work or who knows. And the next morning, the next day, she is able to drive home, but on a 2-track road leading to her property, she was not able to make it all the way. She got stuck in about knee deep of snow. In that snow, she saw these big tracks. So it's not like the tracks had time, like a person had walked and the tracks had time to melt and widen out. And then with a 4-foot stride, that's really, really interesting. Now there's some additional details to the story that I'm going to read. So let's carry on. Let's see, for other witnesses, it was just her. Other stories. Approximately 15 years ago, the witness's son and his cousin frequently rowed their small boat across Bass Lake to the Sear Swamp area near the old Sear mine location. Both boys mentioned several times that trees in that vicinity of the Sear mine area where they were periodically adventured into had large branches broken off about 10 to 15 feet high. That's interesting. Oh, according to witnesses, the boys often wondered how so many large branches could have been broken off so high above the ground over such an extended period of time. In addition, both boys noted that the large branches were broken off during the summer and fall months as well, when there was no snow or ice that could have caused the limb damage. So that's very, very interesting. So over a course of a number of years, her son and her son's friend, it sounded like, were seeing this thing. In Sear Swamp, my uncle had a deer camp on the edge of Sear Swamp. It's a huge, huge swamp. I can't even say, it's probably, I don't know, 50 miles by, I mean, it's huge. It's a huge, huge swamp. And if people get lost in that swamp, because the swamp looks the same, like no matter where you go, 10 feet in, 100 feet in, 200 feet in, 100 yards in, a mile in, that swamp looks identical everywhere. So it's super easy to get lost. I've done some deer hunting there, and I never really did like the swamp just because it was so thick and everything looked so much the same. So I could see in that area how possibly there could be a Bigfoot. So for years, up until when she had her account, even her son had been seeing things. So that is very, very interesting. And it says here too that the Bigfoot Field Research Observer Investigator, or organization investigator, had contacted this lady and found out that the family had owned this cabin for several generations. She had been a nurse in this area for 40 years, so her, a lifelong resident of this area, and lived in that particular area for her whole life. So this was kind of interesting because she would be familiar with the wildlife in that area, and to see something different probably is a little bit off-putting. So that's kind of interesting. And again, I'm just sharing stories, and I'm curious to our people, what are they seeing? What's going on? And there's been, I mean, we've only shared, what, 2 stories now? Out of some 40 stories in the Upper Peninsula. And there's like 250 some throughout the state of Michigan. And then Wisconsin's not that far. I didn't look to see how many sightings were in Wisconsin. But it's just very, very interesting to think. And personally, I would like to think that there could be something out there. A new discovery. But I'm skeptical because, like I said, there's game cameras everywhere. All the hunters up here, and the snowmobile trails, and the four-wheeler trails, and the hiking, and just all the different things that get people outdoors. And granted, like a place like Sear Swamp, where this report is near, there's not going to be a lot of people in that swamp. And it's a thick, deep swamp. And when I mean deep, it's a huge area. So, yeah, maybe. But anyways, like I said, I just wanted to get out in the woods, share a story, and what do you guys think? I know it's a very, very controversial subject. Very controversial. There are people who 100% believe that there's a Bigfoot. And there's people on the other side who 100% think it's the biggest crock that there ever was. I would say I'm somewhere in the middle. But very, very skeptical. So, anyway, that's my thought there. I'm going to set the camera up. We got a really nice view down this hill, and it opens up down there. I don't know if there's a little pond down there or some type of swampland down at the bottom of this, because you can see it goes up on the other side. So I'm gonna show you guys that real quick. Well, gang, today I didn't bring any food out or anything like that. I just wanted to come out and enjoy a campfire. We're supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow. It's going to be a wet, heavy snow because it's that time of year. And yeah, so I just wanted to try to get a quick outing before the next spring storm hits. It's a little cool today. Fortunately in the woods here it's not too bad as far as wind. So really enjoying this. Just to have the ability to get out. And again, enjoy being out in the woods. And then getting to share a story with you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you appreciate me sharing these Bigfoot accounts that people have had. And oh, I had a guy, an individual, I don't know if it's a guy or not, but I'm assuming it was a guy. And the last Bigfoot story video I did was all upset, putting caps. I want to see real evidence. Or something to that extent. I might be paraphrasing. But I didn't say I was out looking for evidence. I said, I'm out here to share a story while out in the woods. I think it's kind of cool. Because maybe, just maybe, while we're walking through the woods or whatever, we see something that might be a Bigfoot related thing. Tree breaks, or I don't know. I really don't know what to say. But it's just interesting to share these accounts, read these accounts. I think it's kind of interesting. And I do wonder what people are seeing. And there's accounts that I'll be reading from the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. So it's not like, I mean, it's spread out over time. And people from vast parts of the UP. And even different parts of the county I live in. I just think it's interesting. So I hope you appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below if these videos are something that you're enjoying. And if you are, if it is, if we get some likes and get some comments, just say, hey, I enjoy the stories. Or hit that like button. And I'll keep sharing stories. We'll keep going out in the woods and having campfires. I was hoping to this week. I was hoping actually to go down to one of my buddy's property where there was a Bigfoot sighting and do a camp out, but my wife's truck broke down, so we're down to one vehicle right now until we get some parts and I get it fixed. So maybe next week I'll be able to get down to his property. And same thing, we'll get out, but with that one I want to do a camp out, and I'd like to be a camp out. So we'll see what next week brings. Well, gang, I appreciate you coming along on this video, seeing what's going on. We'll see you on the next adventure.